Phoenix and the Forgotten Flame. In a land where winters never ended, and the sky was forever pale, the last ember of warmth flickered in an ancient temple at the heart of the frozen world. Legends spoke of a time when fire danced freely, when the land knew the touch of spring, and when the phoenix, the guardian of warmth, soared across the heavens. But centuries had passed, and the phoenix had vanished, leaving behind only the forgotten flame, an ember hidden in the temple's depths. Liora, a young girl with frost-bitten fingers and fire in her heart, had spent her life searching for warmth. While others accepted the eternal winter, she refused. When she learned of the legend, she set off toward the temple, braving howling winds and endless snowdrifts. After days of travel, she reached the temple's frozen steps, its towering doors covered in ice so thick they looked like glass. She pressed her hands against them, whispering, "I seek the phoenix." The doors groaned open, revealing a vast hall of marble and shadow. At its center stood a pedestal, and on it, nothing but a faintly glowing ember, no larger than a firefly. Her heart sank. Could this tiny spark truly bring warmth back to the world? A voice, ancient and tired, echoed through the chamber. Who dares disturb the last ember? Liora turned to see an old man, his robes tattered, his eyes flickering like dying coals. "The phoenix entrusted me with the flame," he said, "but its power fades. The world has forgotten fire. The ember cannot grow unless someone remembers what warmth truly is." Liora hesitated, then knelt beside the ember. She cupped her hands around it, shielding it from the cold. "I remember," she whispered. "Warmth is a mother's embrace. It's laughter shared between friends. It's the first light of dawn after a long, dark night." The ember pulsed, glowing brighter. The old man's gaze softened. "Then you are the one." With a shaking hand, he reached into his cloak and pulled out a delicate feather, red and gold, shimmering with the memory of fire. He placed it in Liora's hands. "The phoenix cannot be reborn without its flame. Take this ember to the highest peak and release it to the sky." Liora nodded and left the temple, shielding the ember beneath her cloak. She climbed for days, the cold biting at her limbs, the wind howling warnings. But she pressed on, step after step, until she reached the mountain's peak. The sky above was a dull gray, heavy with centuries of forgotten warmth. Liora knelt and held out the ember. "Return to us," she pleaded, releasing the glowing spark into the wind. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the air crackled. The ember expanded, swirling into a spiral of flame, growing brighter, wilder. The sky blazed gold and crimson as a cry shattered the silence, a cry of rebirth. From the storm of fire, wings unfurled, vast and brilliant. The phoenix rose, its feathers shimmering like molten gold, its eyes burning with the light of 1,000 forgotten summers. Heat swept through the land, melting the snow, chasing away the cold. Rivers ran free, trees stretched toward the sun, and flowers bloomed where ice had once ruled. The phoenix circled once, then soared toward Liora. It landed before her, lowering its head. "Because you remembered, the world remembers too." As its warmth wrapped around her, Liora felt the ice in her veins melt, replaced with something new, something eternal. Hope. And with that, the phoenix took to the skies, leaving behind a world that would never forget warmth again.